One thing I've learned that's been a game changer for me is understanding that the real challenge when dealing with difficult people isn't about them at all. It's about my reaction. I realize that when someone pushes my buttons, it's often because I'm letting them. And that's when I learned the importance of managing my own triggers and responses. And by changing how I respond, I could take control of any situation. No one can make us feel anything. The problem is with us. I know that might feel a bit harsh for some, but hear me out. Every time we get worked up, triggered, or upset, it's not about what someone else did. It's about what it did inside of us. Because if there wasn't a button to push, no one could push it. So instead of pointing fingers or waiting for others to change, perhaps it could be time to look inside yourself and ask, why is that button even there? Why am I triggered right now? What about this is hurting me? Why am I fearful? And what am I afraid of in this moment? When we feel like we want to attack, fear is usually the culprit. And in many cases, our fear is coming from something in our past. Maybe your dad never showed up for you, so now you have a hard time trusting that your partner will. Or maybe, growing up, you were always compared to your sibling or a friend, so now you struggle to feel like you're enough. Here's the truth. Our triggers are ours to own. So if we want peace, we've got to do the work. Every time we let a trigger control us, we're letting our past run the show. And that's giving up way too much power. So, how do we flip the script? How do we start taking control instead of letting old patterns call the shots? Let's break it down. 1. Get curious about your triggers. Next time something sets you off, take a pause. Ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? What's really happening here? Dig deep and find the real reason behind your reaction. 2. Recognize that fear is often at play. When you're triggered, it's often fear showing up. Fear of being hurt, not being enough, fear of losing control. But let's be real, most of the time, it's not about the person in front of you. It's about what's happening inside you. And guess what? Those fears, they're not facts. They're just stories. Stories you've been telling yourself for way too long, and you have the choice to let them go. 3. Stay present. Our triggers love to drag us into the past, making us relive old pain. But the past is just that, the past. Right here, right now, you're safe. Staying present is about letting go of those old narratives and focusing on what's true in the present moment. Your job is to stay grounded in the now, not get caught up in what was or what could be. 4. You work on you. No one's coming to save you, so you've got to step up and regulate your own emotional world. It's about taking responsibility for your feelings, your reactions, and ultimately your life. Now let's go to the mirror. Say these words with me. I take 100% responsibility for how I feel, and no one can make me feel anything. I am the master of my mind and my emotions. I choose to pause and respond, not react. I am strong, resilient, and take ownership of my past as I step into my future. Remember this, nothing worth doing is ever easy. The good news, you have everything you need inside you to make this change. And the change starts with you. Clean up those triggers and watch everything else start to fall into place. Now, share this with a friend. Peace.